So thanks for coming, and we're going to tell you more specifics about our program this afternoon. You know already, I'm Vicki Ferrara. I'm the legal director and the owner of Worldwide Surrogacy. We're based in Connecticut, and we have an office in New York City as well. With me, I'd like to introduce Erin Colonies. She's our assistant manager at the office, one of our main go-to people, so it's a good person to know. And Jen MacArthur, who is our director of intended parents, another go-to person for parents who join up with us. Jen is, along with me, your first point person. She's a support person, case manager, if you will, for the intended parents, and will be instrumental in helping to make your match with your surrogate. So I'm going to go through the PowerPoint with you. We have some information for you here. So let me just start. Here we are, becoming a parent. I don't usually do this with the PowerPoint, they do, but I'm going to try to use it anyway. I usually just talk, and there I am again, so you don't need to see me here. So I've been practicing law for over 25 years, actually 30 now. I'm gay, I think I told you that earlier. I have a partner, we have 2 kids, so I come to family formation from a personal perspective. And this is how I got into surrogacy, because I was doing so much legal work in the area of surrogacy. And then people started to ask me, can you help us find a surrogate? So about 10 years ago, we started informally helping a couple of guys find surrogates. And then it went well, and we started our agency. From the get-go, I've worked instrumentally with one of my right-hand people. Her name is Serena, and she was a surrogate herself twice. So she's like really great to have on our team because she knows surrogacy so well, and she's actually the main surrogate support person. So to think that your surrogate would have a former surrogate supporting her and helping her through the process and knowing every single step of it in such an intimate way is a really good thing that we have going for us at Worldwide. One of my main achievements was a case in Connecticut. It's a Supreme Court case where we changed the law favorably for surrogacy for gay couples, so that people using a surrogate, whether you're genetically related to the baby to be born or not, which of course for gay couples, one will be genetically related and one may not be, you can become a legal parent prior to the birth of your baby. So that was our achievement in Connecticut, and that's why Connecticut is a very good place to have a surrogate birth now. We also work in many different jurisdictions. We have surrogates from many different states. In the Northeast, for example, we recruit in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, Pennsylvania. We've had births in Colorado and Illinois, in Idaho, Florida. So we're casting our net wide to find surrogates. The main thing is the screening. We may get between 20 and 30 inquiries a week of women who want to become surrogates, but only 1 or 2 of them will make it through our screening process, which is something that I'll talk more about. So the first steps for you, gather information. You're doing that today. That's really great because you're going to have to make decisions. I think someone spoke about making decisions, so you need to gather the information and then make informed decisions. Choose your professional team. So starting out with your agency, your surrogacy program is a really key place to be landing. The people who are going to help you to find a qualified surrogate, the people who are going to help you and your surrogate then to know what needs to happen when, and the people who will help you navigate the complexities of surrogacy, mainly the legal issues. And then, of course, if there are frustrations along the way on the medical issues, if you don't have a pregnancy the first time, if you have a miscarriage, this is the support team, the surrogacy program people will be the people to help you through those frustrations to continue on the path to realizing your dream to have a baby. There are some people who the process goes very well for. They have a pregnancy the first time, everything goes fine, the legal issues get managed, they have a baby. And there are some people who face any number of hurdles. Maybe the first surrogate doesn't work out. I think I talked about one where the uterine lining didn't develop 2 times in a row, needed another surrogate. We have people who have miscarriages once in a while. There's no explanation why. They are perfectly healthy. The embryos were good. You can't explain sometimes what Mother Nature is going to throw your way. which is why you need the team. You need us to help you to feel supported and stay positive and move on to the next phase of your journey, whether that means another surrogate or another embryo transfer. So all of that needs to be managed as you move along the way. The financial commitment, it goes without saying. You've already heard surrogacy is expensive. It's very safe in the United States. It's very legal. We can keep you safe, keep you legal, make sure your baby is yours, have a wonderful woman to carry the baby. The cost is daunting, and that's, to me, the one drawback of surrogacy in the United States, the cost. So plan for that accordingly, and we can help you understand the finances and understand the expenses as you move through the journey. So again, your team should be explaining to you what you're paying for and why. And then of course ask questions. We invite you to ask us questions here, to write to us, to email us, to call us, to Skype with us. There's no charge for this. We're here voluntarily. We'll have initial consultations with you voluntarily. I look at it as an opportunity to tell you about our program. For you, it's an opportunity to hear from a professional in the field how surrogacy works and what you need to know. So here, this is the first thing here, the consultation, which we offer to you, the email and phone contact questions, and then the review of fees and the retainer. Okay, so I think the fees come later, but let's talk about the first steps. You choose your team, you read the retainer, you ask me questions on it, you enter into a retainer agreement with your chosen agency. If that's worldwide, now I'm going to tell you how it goes. So we ask you the three things you need to do. 1, read and sign the retainer. 2, fill out an intended parent questionnaire, the profile form, so we get to know you, so we know who the right surrogate will be for you. And 3, you make your first and only payment until we find a surrogate, and that's the first part of the agency, which is $9,500. The total agency fee is $19,000. That's a flat fee for us to do all of this that I'm talking about. There will be other expenses along the way, which we'll talk about, and they're all outlined in our fee sheets that you have, but we'll explain it too. Waiting period, how long does it take to find a surrogate? We tell people approximately 4 to 6 months. For our US couples, it can be a little less than the 6 months, maybe around the 4 or 5 month mark. It depends. For our international couples, it's been closer to the 6 month mark because they have some more complications with insurance and whatnot we have to pay attention to. But there will be a waiting period. Occasionally, we match in sooner than 4 months. So that is possible, but I think we're being realistic with you when we say 4 to 6 months. And then we'll keep in touch with you, though, just throughout the process. Every 2 weeks, you'll know what's happening, what we have coming along in terms of possible surrogates for you. Did you have a question?
Yes. From your experience, how many surrogates does a prospective parent meet before they make their decision? Or you said like if there is a match, but does the prospective parent can say no, or like
yes.
Then you have to go through the whole process.
Yes. So once we get to you on our list, if you will, then we'll start to show you profiles. And what we do in our agency is we show you one at a time. It seems to work well because you're going to have a lot of questions about the surrogate, and so we show you a profile. We say, hey, we think this will be a good match for you because you want this, this, and this, and she would agree to this, this, and this. So we'll show you a profile. If you don't like her for any reason whatsoever, where she lives, anything, you can say no. And then we will move on to the next profile. We'll show you another profile. Usually, in our experience, like over 95% of the time, you will choose your surrogate within 3 profiles that we show you. And many times it's the first one, and this is why, because we're thinking very carefully about who the right surrogate for you is. We're not just throwing at you profiles of any old woman and you have to figure out that it's the right person. We're trying to tailor make a match. Jen and Serena, our surrogate person, they talk every day at length and meet every day to figure out who specifically is going to be the right surrogate for you. And then our whole team, we meet every week, and we have a whole team meeting. It takes a few hours. We go through every single one of our clients, where they are in the process, what they need, and for those who are still to be matched, who's a possible match, and we talk together about each of you individually each week.
If you don't mind me asking, so is it the intent of your organization to get a good match, a perfect match, or is it a greater outcome at the end that you guys are looking for? You know, the whole process. What is it that drives your company?
Well, we want to have a very happy, enjoyable journey for you. I would like to be able to take the edge off for you, to take the stress out of it and the complexities out of it. We'll manage the complexities so you can actually enjoy the process of having your baby. I mean, that to me, that would be really a beautiful thing because you're having a baby, all right? And other than having to pay money for the things that need to be addressed throughout the process, if you can enjoy your relationship with your surrogate, get excited about having your baby, and really look forward to that birthday, that's what drives us, really. We're like a family. I mean, we really are. We have a team. We have a number of people that work with us at the office. Our clients become like family to us. We want to see this work really well for you. So the good match is what we look for, and of course the happy journey is what we look for, and to keep you positive in the face of those complications that may arise. So here's what we do. We keep in touch with you on a regular basis. We keep you informed. I think I said that, on a regular basis. And then you're going to have a lot of questions along the way, and we're here to answer them. You'll always have access to me. I'm the lawyer for you. I know a lot about surrogacy. It's my special field. I'm in organizations where I'm constantly learning about it. The American Bar Association, the American Academy of Assisted Reproduction Technology Lawyers. I'm always on listservs learning more and more about surrogacy in different states and networked with lawyers to make it better for you.
So you mentioned earlier about an Illinois attorney. If he would go with worldwide, would you then have someone from Illinois represent us, or how does that work as far as?
So as your agency lawyer, it will depend on where your surrogate lives. So if you're in Illinois and you have an Illinois surrogate, so you're planning on an Illinois birth, then we would be referring you to Illinois counsel like Heather or Nora, and they would be helping you with the legalities here in Illinois. If you have a surrogate in Ohio, then we'll be outsourcing to Ohio counsel. But as the agency, and ideally what the agency should always do, is be keeping in touch with your local counsel. So to make sure they're getting done. Like, we have one person on our team who's dedicated to following the pre-birth order process for every client, no matter what state they're in. So Kim will basically be knowing who our pregnant people are and who their lawyers are in the other states, and communicating with that lawyer saying, how's the pre-birth order coming for this couple? How's the pre-birth order coming for this couple? So that we're not leaving you out there to figure it out. We're constantly making sure that what needs to get done is getting done. That, I feel, is our responsibility as your agency. We are like the umbrella organization, making sure everything's happening correctly. And the same with the medical clinic. We talked a little bit about lawyers, but you're going to have a medical clinic, and we're going to become one team with that medical clinic. Doesn't matter what clinic it is. There's some clinics we work with more than others, but it doesn't matter. You could have ORM on the West Coast. We've worked with them. You could have CT Fertility in the next town from us. We work all the time with them. We work with clinics in New Jersey.
Who chooses the clinic?
You do. You do. You would choose your clinic, and you would choose your agency. And those are really the two big choices you have to make. Who your surrogacy agency will be and who your medical clinic will be. Those are the two big, once you make those choices, things will start to take off on their own, and we'll be working for you and giving you information. The other big choice you need to make is who your egg donor is. Oftentimes that comes through the medical clinic. They have egg donation programs that are very good. Sometimes you don't find the egg donor that you like at the medical clinic, and so we'll help you to work with egg donation agencies that will have more candidates available, choices available to you for that very important part of your baby, the other half of the genetics. They're very good agencies, and we work really seamlessly with them. So This is important, how we screen our surrogates. So you want to know that you have a woman who's going to be healthy, emotionally sound, committed to you, having support in her life to become a surrogate. So we do this very intensive screening of each surrogate that applies to us to become a surrogate. So number one, she has to have children, she has to live in a surrogacy-friendly state, and she has to have a certain age between 21 and 40, and she has to have very healthy pregnancy medical records. So we get all of that. So there's a medical records review by a reproductive doctor. There's a psychological evaluation by a licensed clinical psychologist, and then also her husband goes through that if she's married. And she participates in an MMPI, which is a standardized personality test, so that kind of rules out any latent psychological or emotional problems. And then we have a background investigation by a private investigator. We get all kinds of information from social media pages to traffic tickets to bankruptcies. So we're getting a really clear picture of who this person is. And also, it takes months to do this screening. So somebody applies today, it takes us a couple of months to get them through the screening. So not only do we have this objective data, but we're getting to know them really well. Like Jen is always Skyping with surrogates to get them to do different aspects of their process and screening. We get to know whether they meet appointments timely with the psychologist, whether they're organized and they get us their records in a coherent way. So we're paying attention to all these little details about these people, because trust me, we don't want any problems. I mean, number one, it's about safety and emotional soundness for you. Number two, we have a very good reputation in the surrogacy community, and we want to preserve that and take care of it and continue it. We love doing this work, so it's important for us that things go well so that we can keep up doing this work for people. We do all of this to be sure that things will go well. Here's one of our surrogates, Lisa. She's been a surrogate twice, and this is the kind of person who becomes a surrogate. She's lovely, she's well taken care of, she takes care of herself. We don't take any women who are on welfare or any kind of government aid because of different various reasons. We don't want them to jeopardize their benefits, and of course we want it to be safe for you. So someone has to be self-sufficient. These are some other things you need to think about in the very few minutes that we have left. How you will make your embryos, whether if you're single, of course it'll be your sperm. If you're in a couple, whose sperm will it be? Will it be both of you? Will you make embryos from both? Will you try for twins? Do you think twins is too risky, so you'll try for one and then another, and we can talk about how we can reduce the cost for a second journey when we talk to you more specifically, but that is a goal of ours if you're thinking of one baby, to have some type of financial plan in place for the second baby. And then where you will get your eggs from, which we talked about.